Welcome. We are going into preseason week 3 for VRML Breachers. Today we do have Knights of Jerky lined up against QuadHeadShot. Looks like they just got one of them just got their fifth in, so we're still waiting on the fifth for the other team. But I'm excited, coming out, seeing what these two teams have coming up. They are a little bit newer from what I'm seeing. Really, they both suffered losses already, haven't really quite got a win. So I'm actually hoping this is maybe more of an even matchup between the two different teams. I'm hoping that we can kind of see them, go against people of similar skill levels potentially, or who really quite knows to this point. Because as we've seen before, like the ladder, it really only starts leveling out once we start getting a couple weeks in. At this point, team skill levels are all across the board. So we'll see if maybe this is a closer lineup, or if these two teams still do need to work out certain kinks, figure out different strategies as they're moving forward. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping. I always like seeing a closer matchup, regardless of the skill level. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me, because to me that makes a more entertaining game to watch. And for me as a player too, when I'm playing breachers or even teams themselves, I'm sure it's a lot more entertaining of a game if you're not getting rolled over or getting destroyed or anything like that. So we'll see what's going on right now in the teams lobby. They're kind of just hanging out, relaxing, not really quite doing much yet. As I mentioned earlier, we are still waiting on the fifth. So at this point, we're just kind of hanging out, chilling, seeing what's going on here, and enjoying ourselves in this pregame. But nothing too crazy. My first solo cast, so definitely excited to try this out. There's definitely a lot of things here that I'm still figuring out, but it's fine. They've made it a lot easier. So shout out to the VRML, just the league in general, and the people obviously putting these things together, making it a lot easier for the casters. So we'll see how it does pan out. I'm excited to see everything work out for these teams, and see some shots go off. Right? Can't really worry too much about that, because I hope someone always shoots right in this game. That's never going to be a problem here. I'd be really shocked if somehow we had a breachers round where no one took a shot. That's not a challenge. I don't want to see that. I can't imagine what kind of game that would look like. But I guess maybe it would be a grenade only game, which actually would be kind of a funny party game trick setup or something like that. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, still waiting. Just hanging out here, looking around. Maybe I should have gotten water before all this, but we are fine. We'll be hanging out, having a good time, and hopefully, hop in the chat. Let me know if you have water, because I know I don't. So I'm a little jealous, but it's fine. I should have been better prepared, but it's fine. I was checking everything out, kind of hanging out, trying to make sure everything looks good, and still also talking with these teams, trying to set things up. And see what is going on. But it looks like they did tell me they're going to postpone the game originally by 5-10 minutes. But it looks like we should be starting on time just about. We're still waiting on that fifth, but we'll see what happens, right? When we're kind of reaching points like this, we're seeing people's I forgot exactly some of the round match rules, so don't come at me for that. If there's any league mods that can let me know exactly what the timing looks like, it's like 5-10 minutes. I forgot before people start losing points or stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But at this point, it's just powering through, having a good time, and laying it back. We'll see what's going on. So we're just here, hanging out. And maybe I should roll ads. Nah, it's fine. We'll keep it going. I can talk to myself for a bit. I think it would be entertaining. I think if people could hop in and chat with the casters at least for like 5-10 minutes. But that can go haywire. So I'm not surprised that's not really a thing yet. But it will be a fun addition potentially in the future. Who knows? Maybe you can use channel points for that or whatever. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just having a good time seeing what is going on. And I cannot see the chat for myself. Yes, I can see it. But we're having a good time here, hanging out, waiting on this fifth player to get in. But I'm not worried about it. I'm hoping they all show up. Maybe they'll run a bot round. I'm just kidding. I know I hate those. And especially, you know, I actually still have not tried out the new bot takeover mechanic. A lot of the games I guess I've been playing have been competitive, so I've not really been able to try it out. But maybe I should try it out. You know, let me know if y'all enjoy that new bot mechanic. I think it works well for when you're in a game and you're playing pubs and that sort of stuff. So, you know, definitely a new mechanic that I like that helps for pubs and making things smoother-ish, question mark. I don't quite know. I haven't tried it out, but we'll see. But excited to see these two newer teams. Looks like we did get the 5th player in, so I'm hoping we can kind of get started pretty soon and get the show on the road. You know, just I was hanging out in this pregame lobby for a bit on my own. Maybe I should have kept the intermission rolling. It's fine. We'll power through. We'll see what happens. And it looks like the teams are getting ready, hanging out, trying to see what these teams are doing. It looks like maybe just play some basketball. You know, I'm surprised I have not seen anyone make any jokes about Breacher's Basketball League. That would be, would it be a BBL or something like that? But I don't know if I'll use those acronyms. Definitely, let's redact that statement. It's fine. So it looks like we do have Knights of Jerky on the left and QuadHeadShots coming in. They just started the round out, and it looks like they will be starting on Skyscraper. We'll see how these teams are going to start off. You know, as I mentioned earlier, these teams are a little bit newer, still kind of figuring out the kinks of playing competitive and trying things out in a team environment and seeing how it does kind of progress forward, right? Because I think that's one of the hardest things we've seen when we're playing features and seeing these teams come in for the first time. It's different when you're playing FPSs and you're playing these pubs, trying things out, and you know, maybe you're doing well in pubs because your mechanics are great. But once you start playing against these good teams that are also mechanically gifted, you can't rely only on that. At a certain point, the skill level in regards to strategy and how you execute things, and even things like economy, really come into play at this competitive level. So we'll see what's going on here. Looks like QuadHeadShot is still taking their time in the pregame, in the buy phase, looking around, trying to figure out what they're doing, trying to have things develop. Looks like they are going for more of a split play, coming down the staircase and on the other side of the map, going for that long play into B and A side. Looks like right now they do. Knights of Jerky does have the lounge kind of nailed down, which I'm surprised there wasn't any pokes in, you know, from the windows. We've seen some teams do that sort of stuff before. So it looks like they are kind of starting to engage them right now. It looks like QuadHeadShot trying to get a couple shots off, but unfortunately they did not quite work out for them in their favor. Looks like they are a little bit pinned down right now on the staircase, but I think they're trying to hold it down, waiting for the cross team to come in and attack, as they're trying to engage the team and really distract them and pull them forward from this side of the map. So we'll see how things are going forward. Looks like Plosh is dancing around a little bit. Hopefully that does not affect their gameplay too much, but we'll be fine. You know, we're just hanging out, having a good time, letting the game kind of breathe, right? We're about already 2 minutes left on the clock. We'll see if that QuadHeadShot is able to make some more faster plays, or if, you know, maybe it comes down to the wire. Because that's one of the bad things when you're playing a little too long in some of these rounds. It ends up dragging things out too much, and then you end up having to rush towards the end. And, you know, as anyone has seen, when you're rushing, you're not really making the best choices, because that's not, you know, the best way you want to engage. You want to have the time, be able to breathe as you're engaging. Looks like they are going for a 4-1 kind of split with their teammates on the other side of the map, trying to have things pan out over here. It looks like Zenti on the other side does get a couple shots off, but it was traded for Jake. And right now, QuadHeadShot still trying to slowly push into this hallway through staircase. It looks like they do get picked out by TV2, and it does not quite work out for them. And it looks like that will be it from that push right now. Knights of Jerky able to hold it down on the other side. At this point, their QuadHeadShot is relying on their teammates to attack from the opposite end. We'll see if anything comes out of it, because right now it's not looking fruitful for them. But, you know, I think, as I saw last night, just because you have the numbers advantage does not mean you are automatically going to win. I've seen some crazy 2v1 clutches in the last part of the round. So things can get crazy. They can get a little risky, but that's when those clutch moments really do add up. So it looks like they will be going for a consolidated push into B right now with their two teammates. We'll see if anything happens out of this. Looks like they are trying to get a couple shots in, looking around for those corners. Looks like they're going for the frag in the back, and it looks like they are engaging. And it looks like they are going back and forth. Right now, Kev able to keep it down, gets a shot off, and right now, Kev really holding that corner in. and somehow barely surviving, but does get shot off in the end, but it's fine. Their teammates there for the recovery. Mini through the hallway does get the shot, and that is going to be Knights of Jerky getting the first round win, and they're off to a good start already. I know for myself, I normally kind of play off that round saying, oh, it's just pistol round, don't worry about it too much, but as we've all seen, that does help dictate some of the momentum going forward, because while, you know, your team can't quite really get all Vezins, you're still off to a really good start. You know, you have the extra cash, so at least by round 3, you definitely have the money to get those Vezins, whereas the losing team, they really do have to still fight into round 3, trying to get enough money to get those Vezins to fully kit out their team. But it looks like we do have Knights of Jerky. They're preparing themselves. There is one person. Mini's able to get a Vezin already. Looks like TV2 is going in for that RCP play. Definitely a gun that we saw before. That it's an off-meta gun, but some of the SMGs have really started coming back into form again as it got a slight shadow buff, as they say, because some of the recoil was decreased, and obviously the Cyclone being nerfed into definitely not the gun to go to, but still a usable gun. I'll definitely say that. I think we've seen a variety of times where teams can still do well with the Cyclone. I wouldn't say pipe pistols are a full spectral meta anymore. At this point, it's really whatever gun you're better with. That's really what I think is developing right now. But hey, you know, those top competitive teams, prove me wrong. Prove me that maybe there is a spectral meta. Maybe there is a gun that is amazing and really trumps everything else, but we'll see right now. Looks like both teams are going in for a stair play on both sides of the map, trying to go for a top-down approach onto A and B side, and it looks like Knights of Jerky is not swayed. They are holding their ground, looking around, trying to make sure things are secured. Looks like they might have one or two roamers around, kind of trying to poke in. Looks like Mini already trying to engage in there, trying to see if they can get a couple shots off. And they are killed by the beautiful frag around the corner. Unfortunately, the roamer is down now for the count, but looks like QuadHeadShot is up. We'll see if they can make anything happen with this as they're trying to play through the floor above, trying to get some shots off the hatch potentially, trying to get some plays through the staircase. As they did take out that teammate, it looks like they are off to a pretty good angle at this point. As Knights of Jerky is still holding their ground inside A side and B side, and it looks like they might have a full 4-team push onto B side. You know, I'm not saying that won't work, but it will be an interesting push if they did that. Looks like they are trying to really mix things up, going around the map, trying to figure out where they want to go and where they want to push. I think they're maybe trying to get one more pick off before they make a really strong push. But you know, time is coming down to the wire. Looks like it's about a minute and a half out, and it looks like Knights of Jerky is ready for this push. They did hear people walking around on the staircase. Looks at TV2 trying to get the shots off onto Zenti in the back, and it isn't quite connecting. It looks like we got East Monaco trying to get those couple shots off. Does get down. Jake Destroyer killing it right now with that Vezin, but that does not matter as TV2 is able to get a couple shots off on their teammate. And it looks like they are going back and forth a lot right now. Jake Destroyer trying their best to keep going. Looks like Golden is trying to get a couple shots off himself. But there's a lot of back and forth, really holding down this one corner. That does give Knights of Jerky, sorry, was that blue? QuadHeadShot to win that round, as they are able to get that final shot off. And wow, you know, things have definitely changed around pretty quick, that last one. But things are working pretty well. So right now, you know, pretty even split as we've seen. These teams are pretty close, and that's what I was hoping for right now, right? Maybe it was a little too early for me to be calling that, but these teams are doing pretty well. Got to give credit to both of them right now. It's not easy playing Breachers. It's definitely not easy playing competitive Breachers, and it's definitely not easy getting casted while doing all of this. So definitely, I love seeing these teams open to casting, trying things out. And you know, I think it's good. It's even better for teams if you think about it, because they can review this footage later and learn a little bit from it, right? Because I think doing VOD reviews and learning from what people are doing is very useful, right? Don't be shy to get casted. I'll tell you, the fact that you can review your footage afterwards and try to get better, looking at because you have a lot better of an angle, right, than a POV shot, but it's fine. Looks like we do have the round starting already. QuadHeadShot still walking around on the rooftop, trying to figure out how to push into the second floor, into both storage and studio. Looks like we do have Knights of Jerky kind of spreading around, trying to figure out where they're coming from. And it looks like they might be having a 4 one setup or even a 5-man push for the same corner. It looks like TV2 is trying to get some peeks around the corners. I think they heard the enemy coming in, but looks like they do have a double gadgets in that little corner, trying to see if they can smoke anyone out before any pushes are made. It looks like actually they are going for a 3-2 push right now on the attacking team. You know, one on the other side and one on this side, and that can work sometimes if you have you know, these sort of teams like right now with Knights of Jerky, where they're not really playing too hard on the roamers. As we've seen, Knights of Jerky is like right now, right? We have about 4 or 5 people playing really close to site, even anchored on site. So we're playing very, very conservative. No one really playing roamer, which is kind of shocking, right? If you're thinking about Skyscraper, it's one of the most roamer-friendly maps that you can be playing on. But anyways, it looks like they go in for the window peek, trying to see if they can get a couple shots in, but not quite able to get those angles off right now. And it looks like time is just slowly ticking away for Knights of Jerky. They don't have to push it, right? They're taking their time, letting the enemy develop their attacking play. And at this point, the attacking team is only delaying their own attack, making it harder for themselves. It looks like they do get the peek off on TV2. Did not quite see those attacks, and it looks like they already have 2 shots down. They are now up right now. It looks like we are going to get a good push from QuadHeadShot going in to bomb site. We'll see if anything can happen right here. They are looking around, trying to watch their back flanks, but it looks like things are working out. They can't quite get the shot on the static. It is in the way, and then unfortunately in the background, it looks like the frag did go off and take East Monaco. And at this point, they are trying to make a push on the B side with Plush. Looks like they do have the EMP. At this point, it is a 5v2 situation. Definitely not the most favorable situation, but it's fine. We'll see if Knights of Jerky can come back, but they can't. They get the shot off right now, and it looks like at this point it's down to Mini G. We'll see if anything comes out of this as they're looking around the corners, trying to have things work out. Mini G able to get one shot off, but not able to finish the kill as Golden's able to recover that and shoot them down. It looks like the point does go to QuadHeadShot that round. And man, I'm shocked. Mini G had the starting shots, but did not quite finish. And I think we've seen in this game, that's why you have to have that pre-aiming, making sure you're level-headed and able to pop those heads off. Because you saw there, even if they got the shot off, they still had 2 teammates on the back for that recovery, which would have been very hard for Mini G to kind of take out. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not John Wick. I can't be taking out that many people at once. At least I'm not that good, but it's fine. We'll be good, having a good time, just looking around. And it looks like we are good to go. Looks like they are looking around, letting things happen right now. And we'll see what things progress. Looks like QuadHeadShot still looking around, trying to get their gun situation set up. Looks like they are all almost fully kitted out. I'm not quite sure if Plosh is rocking a Marui there. I'm not sure if the icon is correct or if that's an all real. I'm still not perfect on some of these weapon icons, but it looks like they are going to have to push on the B and A side. Let's see if they make that server push or if they take their time doing so. They are playing off the drone. Because TV2 did see the drone looking around, trying to figure out where to go. They do get the call out. We'll see if TV2 can have anything happen. But they are playing a little aggressive, playing in server, even though they don't know it yet, but they are surrounded on both ends. I'm surprised Zenti did not come in and try to shoot them off, but people are taking their time, letting the things develop and not doing anything too crazy. And it looks like QuadHeadShot is rocking 2 different drones this round, trying to really focus on the intel, trying to get that information before they even make any and all engagements, which is definitely smart play on their end. Looks like they get shot off by Jake Destroyer. And again, that shows you just how important that intel is. It looks like Zenti's able to get a couple shots off. Looks like server is being held down right now by QuadHeadShots as they're trying their best to hold it down, get a couple shots into the wall bang, but it doesn't quite work out for them. A lot of back and forth right now. A lot of shots being shot, but not anything really quite connecting with any players yet. And it looks like they are trying to set up, going in through B side, trying to get that breach off. It looks like they are prepping right now. They are making a push in, getting the frag off, but it does not quite bounce in the way that they wanted it to right now. Looks like they are pushing hard into B. Golden does get a couple shots on the opposite end. East Monaco almost down, does get shot. At this point, it's down to Mini G once more in the back. It looks like the roamer played a little too far out, which is a little bit risky of a play this round, especially because Quad Headshot was able to set up their attacking play pretty fast. Looks like they are getting shot down by Miniji. Miniji able to get 2 shots off and 2 kills right in the back. At this point, you know, it's down to a 1v3 situation, which is crazy. It was a 5v1. But we'll see if Miniji is able to make anything happen, as they are poking around the corners, but not able to get anything without getting shot off. But it looks like Mini is coming in, trying to get some pokes around the back, as the team is expecting them to be playing in through the hallway. Looks like we have Zenti and G-Money holding down that angle. Looks like Zenti's up to get the shots off and finish it off. And at this point, that point does go to QuadHeadShot for round 4. A lot of close-ish rounds and some crazy picks I've seen from Nice of Jerky. Even when they were down, they definitely are getting those shots off and doing some impressive shooting. I think at this point, really, it is coming down to strategy. We're seeing QuadHeadShot being ready to have those really strong consolidated pushes onto these sites. And Nice of Jerky, they are taking their time. They're not playing too aggressive when they don't have to, but they aren't able to really defend as well when QuadHeadShot is able to start making those pushes on a site. So that's my one thing I guess I would say. You know, Knights of Jerky, y'all are great at keeping your time, but maybe playing a roamer or two, as we saw. But making sure that they do come back to site when things start going pretty fast, right? We saw at the end of the round, the only person alive was the roamer, who was playing a little too deep. They were able to get a couple shots off, but those shots would have been, those kills would have been amazing while the team was making that push, right? But we'll see if they do mix things up this round. Over they're going to play pretty conservative again. Looks like the TV2 will be the roamer on the back end. We'll see how QuadHeadShot is going to develop this play out, because we've seen them, you know, they're really rocking that double drone play. Really trying to focus on getting that intel first before they make any pushes on the side or even anywhere remotely near side, right? Which is very smart of them, right? I think people underestimate how useful drones can be, because they can get those call outs and they can get those points saying, hey, this side is open, this side's closed. But I think one of the most important things that you think about when you're doing drones is that you're able to make sure that people can follow pretty quick on them. Otherwise, at best, it's a distraction. If you don't have anyone actually being able to act in on those things. But it looks like we do have, they did find an opening in lounge as they're walking in slowly, trying to poke in on the A side. We'll see if QuadHeadShot's able to have this breach be successful. It looks like they have 3 players in on lounge with their cross teammates on the other side of the map, trying to do this sort of cross flank play, so they're not quite sure what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to go, we'll see what happens. QuadHeadShot really taking their time, not forcing this push, making sure that when they are pushing, it is a strong, smart push. And that's what I like seeing from this team, right? Really good patience, taking their time. And it looks like they do have a good push on the other end. Looks like Plosh is coming in with the EMP, going in for a couple shots, and we'll see if they go in for the EMP plant, get the 200 points on the board. And it looks like Numbskull not quite seeing anyone on their back and gets shot down by Golden. And, you know, I think we're going to start seeing where at this point they're starting to get rolled over. It's not, things are not quite going out in their favor. We're seeing QuadHeadShot being fully kitted out, being ready to make these pushes, and at this point, Nice of Jerky still trying to figure out how do they manage their economy. And I think that's the problem we're seeing right now. They just are having problems with their money. And as we can see here, Zenti literally buying out for the last round before they have the reset switch on their onto defending. And definitely, you know, smart play, right? You might as well buy out all the gadgets while you have one, you have the money, and 2, it's the last round anyways. You're not going to carry that money over, so you might as well actually play it and utilize it, right? So it looks like Nice Jerky having some fun, really celebrating their wins, at least going into the round reset. So we'll see how things pan out, but at this point, they're just taking their time, looking around. You know, my only criticism is I think moments like this, you really got to focus on where do you want to move next. You don't want to, the buy phase isn't just about buying stuff, it's about making sure that everyone in the team knows where they are going to be going and making sure that they do actually set up for that. And it looks like Nice Jerky is playing really aggressive this round. You know, they have 3 people off site, playing almost a triple roamer style gameplay, which is definitely very aggressive on a map. But if you're going to do it, it's definitely going to be Skyscraper, the map to do that, right? And it looks like we do have QuadHeadShot coming in from the opposite end into lounge, taking it slow, trying to look around for some good open shots or maybe a couple pokes if possible. Looks like a lot of them, they're just taking their time this round, really playing, you know, the floor above, maybe trying to go for the hatch play down, and try to play that way, right? Looks like on the opposite end, Jake throwing in the drone right onto the side. Looks like they do get the peek off on TV2, trying to get that call out saying, hey, someone is there. Looks like Zenti able to get that grenade in and get a great you know, kill from that. Looks like TV2 able to get a couple shots in, gets a kill. At this point, they're really holding that hallway, trying to see if they can help their teammates out and make sure that things don't progress too far before things get bad. Looks like Plosh trying to get a couple shots in, get a better angle by double breaching. It looks like TV2 is really holding that long angle, trying to see if they can get one more poke off before they start making any pushes in. But they're really taking their time, really holding their deep angles, not overexerting their pressure. We'll see how Knights of Jerky is able to make this work out. They are even, right? It's now a 4v4 situation. Coming down a little bit quick on the time. It's now 1 minute and 30 seconds left. We'll see if they're able to make anything happen. Looks like RRAG Money can see that someone is in the background trying to get it, see if they can get a shot off on them from that tight angle. But it looks like they actually going for the reset down the hallway. They say we're not going to actually play that hatch. We're going through hallway instead. And really smart to be able to mix up their play and not force themselves into a play that they feel like isn't working well for them anymore, right? They are going to be setting up breaching onto B side through toilets. Definitely a really tough spot to be pushing through. But you know, it looks like they will be pushing through and seeing if they can get a couple shots off. Plosh able to get a couple shots off on Kevlar, but not able to finish the kill. Does finish the kill off. At this point, they are all on the B side, getting the plant off. And it looks like they are, at this point, being able to defend. At this point, they Knights of Jerky not in the most favorable position. They have a roamer off a site, maybe going in through hatch, and then Mini G, never mind, just gets picked off by Zenti. At this point, is now down to a 1v4 situation. And this is what I'm saying about the roamer. You got to know when to play the roamer and when to come back. Because at this point, TV2 is alone, and is at this point up to a 1v4 situation, which not the most favorable, especially with an EMP plant on top of that, right? So we'll see if they can do something with this, but I'm not the most optimistic person for this. We'll see. TV2 can kind of scrape out of this. Looks like they are holding down toilets, looking around for some quick picks. Zenti playing a beautiful little corner peek, you know, cheeky shot. It does get the win for a quad headshot. At this point, they are going in for the switch. And I do need to correct the score line. I don't know why the auto one's not working at all for me, but it's fine. We'll be fine. Looks like I did this wrong. Yeah, things are going well. Looks like they do have the swap teams. Yep, perfect. Oh, I did that wrong. Alright, cool. I have the point set up. Sorry, I'm still learning this. We're fine. Yep. Alright, so looks like they are setting up the round. We'll see if Knights of Jerky is able to mix things up and change the momentum going into their favor. We saw them. They already won a round before. Granted, it was, again, I believe it was either the pistol round or round 2. Where things did work out in their favor. So they do have it in them. I think at this point it's really just execution and making sure that they can hold themselves out against QuadHeadShot. Because we saw QuadHeadShot, once they start making that push, it is very coordinated, it's very strong, it's fast, and it's just coming in maybe a little too hot for Knights of Jerky. We'll see if they can switch things up on the attacking play. Again, as I mentioned before, that we've seen these teams sometimes excel on one side versus the other. So I wouldn't be shocked if maybe, you know, maybe that's Knights of Jerky. Maybe they're better on one side. It looks like they do get to pick out Plosh, able to get a kill in. TV2 pushing pretty aggressive, trying to see if they can finish that kill off on Plosh, but not able to finish anything. They are poking around, able to get that shots off on Plosh, and they do push in to the site above. Looks like the roamer is down. It is now down to a 4v4 situation, but it looks like TV2 is pretty low on their health. Really waiting for their teammates to give them a syringe. Looks like they do. And it looks like Knights of Jerky will be making a push downward into site from the from storage above on the second floor. TV goes in for the double for the flash and the smoke. Looks like they are coming in, but Jake Destroyer has a crazy headshot through the smoke and does get that kill off. Looks like it is now just a shooting gallery for QuadHeadShot as they shoot right into the smoke cloud. And I don't know, you know, the smoke plays I'm always mixed on, because if you're throwing a smoke where you're going to be playing right into, you're basically like giving a huge marker to the enemy team saying, hey, I'm right here. You don't know where in this circle, but I'm in here. So your best shot is just shooting into the circle, right? And that's what we saw there, right? They pushed in. It wasn't quite successful because they did get shot out. It looks like at this point we do have Knights of Jerky slowly taking their time, coming around the corner, trying to see what's gonna happen. Looks like our G Money is really trying to listen for those footsteps. As it looks like, I don't know if they knew, but Mini G and our G Money are back to back. We'll see if anything comes out of this play, but this is kind of I think, entertaining, for me at least. Looks like Monaco is trying to peek in, get a couple shots in, but not the most favorable shot to be shooting in because that angle is tight. It's really hard to make something happen there. Looks like Mini G is going in for some quick peeking, trying to see if anyone comes out, get a couple shots off. But no, QuadHeadShot playing the smart play, holding down the side until the time comes down to the wire. Looks like on the other side, Monaco does get picked out by a trip mine, and Mini G's able to get a couple shots off, but he does get finished off by their teammate as G Money does come out and does finish that off. Yeah. QuadHeadShot definitely going very well for them, especially going into this first pistol round. So as we can see, it's not really a fluke. They are doing well. They know what they're doing, even on the defending team. We'll see if Knights of Jerky is able to mix this up and come back out of this, but I'm not, the most optimistic considering that at this point they have to either buy out and do SMGs, and even if they do win this, they're now down for the next round. In terms of money, or they go eco round and just hope that they can win this. I think in a moment like this, what I would probably do as QuadHeadShot is save money, do an eco round. You have another 4 or 5 rounds to play that, so it doesn't matter if you play hard on this round or not. And we're seeing that a lot of their teammates still rocking pistols, playing a couple of gadgets here and there, but not playing aggressive like Knights of Jerky is, where they have to play those SMGs because at this point it's a match point, right? They had to play this and win, or that's it. They had to play the next map, and that's really what it comes out to, right? So at this point, we do have QuadHeadShot setting up in radio and, really playing hard on site. They have one roamer off that we're seeing right now, but at this point, Knights of Jerky trying their best to kind of eke out some kind of win here because things aren't quite looking the best for them right here. But yeah, they're looking right. Looks like Knights of Jerky able to get in on the second floor on the lounge spot, trying to poke in real quick. And it looks like pretty safe for them. As we've seen, they only have one roamer on the other team, as the attacking team is making their time in, going in from it looks like a top down and bottom up approach through staircase. So we'll see if that does work out for them this round as they try to slowly poke in, try to get a couple kills, or end up planting themselves, right? Kevlar really playing a little safe, trying to see if they can get a couple peeks in, but it doesn't quite work out as G Money is holding down that angle in the back, trying to make things work out in their favor. And it looks like shots are being made across. Looks like maybe they're going for the wall bang in the hallway from QuadHeadShots. At this point, it looks like the whole team has caught up. Knights of Jerky now in the hallway, trying to watch the flanks on the back. Looks like Posh is trying to be a little aggressive, but knowing when to pull out and giving those call outs. Hey, they're here. Make something happen, right? Looks like TV2 trying to go back, trying to watch the flank watch and make sure that their teammate isn't caught out in the back. Because I think that's one of the most unfavorable things that have happened is someone in the background just comes out and just knocks your whole team down, right? Looks like Numbskull coming in for the breach. Looks like they are prepping to move in. Mini G trying to go in for the shots. Does get one kill off, but does get finished off by their teammate. Unfortunately, Numbskull's really trying to get a couple kills in, knowing where they're at, trying to get a couple shots, and it does work out. Barely surviving, able to get a couple shots on. Right now, Knights of Jerky just doing well against all odds, having 4 health right now, barely surviving by the tip up there. I don't even know, you can shoot their thumb and they die at that point. And at this point, Knights of Jerky setting up in radio, trying to get a couple shots, does get finished off by RG Money, unfortunately, but it's still sort of in their favor. as their teammate is down held. Never mind, looks like they just got their syringe off, so they are going to be fine moving forward. Looks like TB2 trying to get a couple shots in, does get a kill on G Money, and Zenti trying their best to hold it down, trying to see if they can survive. At this point, they just need to play time. They only have 30 seconds left, and it's a 5-second plan. Zenti, all they need to do at this point is just survive, play time, and win the round and clutch up. Looks like they are playing time. They're looking at the timer, looking down. 12 seconds counting down. Nice of Jerky has to make this push, otherwise they will be losing it. It looks like it's down to the count. It's 5 seconds left, and it looks like that will be round. And a beautiful clutch up by Zenti, able to play the time till the very end, even with a 2v1 situation set up. I gotta give credit. Beautiful gameplay by Zenti, knowing when to push and when not to push, knowing to play time and let the team play things out for them. And it looks like that is going to be the win for QuadHeadShot. There's that round win. Okay, my thing did not showcase that, but it's fine. Really good start to Knights of Jerky. Unfortunately, did not work out for them. They did get caught up a couple times, even though things were starting to work out in their favor. Right, I was kind of shocked at certain times where I was shocked. I didn't think they would actually be able to make it up, or they got really down to the wire. And this is what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you can't focus on the scoreline. Because as we see here, it was a 7-1. However, there were several times where it was pretty close for both teams. So we know that they're almost there, but they're just not quite there. And I'm not surprised. Right, we're in preseason. People are still learning things out. These two teams have only played really 2-3 games between both of them, so they're still really developing their strategy, trying to see how they can get better at breachers. But definitely beautiful gameplay from QuadHeadShot, having really strong pushes on the site. And even when things are down to the count, having those players that can clutch up and go crazy at the very end, right? Nice of Jerky, just almost there. So many times where they're just almost there, and things just didn't quite work out for them in their favor. So hopefully that they can check out this cast later and make sure that things are working and figure out how they can work on their strategy better, right? So it looks like the teams are subbing. Maybe they're taking their time, trying to get people to come in. It looks like they are moving into the next map, so we'll be hopping in right into the game. As it looks like we do have, let me swap the teams there. It looks like we have Knights of Jerky defending, and QuadHeadShots will be attacking this round. As we've seen before, they're pretty solid on their attacking, right? Doing a pretty good job at knowing when to come in and when not to, when to play time, when not to do that. So beautiful strategy by QuadHeadShot. We'll see if they can kind of keep that going into hideout, or maybe things won't work out in their favor. But we'll see how it goes. Looks like they are taking their time setting up right here. And will be a floor 0 or basement or whatever you want to call it. It's really into, I believe, gym and work site or mechanics or something like that. I'm not 100% perfect on some of these map callouts, but it's fine. I will pick it up over time, and that will be how it goes. Looks like QuadHeadShot is playing a little bit more conservative, really watching all the angles from potential roamers on the floor 2. And it looks like Jake Destroyer will be slowly making their way into gym, looking around for some possible opportunities or roamers to get caught out, as they are breaching a lot of the spots on the second floor. Looks like they do call in their drone, really utilizing intel and blowing up almost all the hatches. Looks like they are playing really aggressive. Looks like Zenti coming in, does get the shot off, but unfortunately Mini G is able to defend them very well through storage, gets a couple shots off. Zenti looking in, trying to get a couple pokes in, see if they can finish off their teammate, picking up the MP, trying to see if they can move forward and have something work out better in their favor. Looks like TV2 able to roam really slow, taking their time and able to get that shot off, and they do have that kill. Looks like Knights of Jerky is playing a little bit better this round, really holding their tight angles, getting another shot off. It looks like they go around the corner and swing wide and get another shot off. TV2 right now on a kill streak, killing it. right behind the enemy lines and finishes off for a 3-piece right at the end. TV2 takes the win for Knights of Jerky, that Brown. And that's, that's what I'm saying. Some teams are better at certain maps. Some teams are better at certain positions on certain maps. And I don't know, maybe Knights of Jerky, this is their momentum switch up. Maybe this is their map. Even on a map where Hideout, where it technically, it favors the attackers more often, they still were able to successfully defend against quad headshots. And that's what I like, when I watch these games. If it's not a 7-0, and we see these wins from some of these teams, I know they have it in them. I know they have it in them. They got the win already. We know that all they need to do is just do it again, which is definitely easier said than done. But we'll see how Knights of Jerky is able to keep their momentum going forward. They do have the money. One of them, TV2, able to get, never mind, they were going for the Vezina, but they decided to go in for the RCP. It looks like at this point, QuadHeadShot playing a little bit more conservative on their economy, really utilizing pistols. Some of them even Jespers, really trying to maximize the amount of money that they can get from the round. It looks like they will be pushing in through, I believe this is foyer or front room, potentially on the A side. Playing more of a 4v1 sort of setup with most of their teammates on one side. Actually more of a 3-1-1, I guess. Looks like they going in for the flash as their teammates start progressing in. Golden trying to get a couple shots in, but no one's really quite out. They're really holding their time, and it looks like Knights of Jerky really playing their time, not trying to push out, holding their angles, and letting QuadHeadshots make all the moves here, right? Zenti trying their best to get the grenade in. I think that was about 2 or 3 times where that did not work out, but it's fine. They're on the back end, and it did go through this time. And Kevlar just getting shot from the top from G Money as they're getting shot down through the hatch. Right now, TV2 going in for the roaming that we're seeing on top, seeing if they can potentially engage the enemy team. And they do get the shot off. The roamer able to get that shot down there now. Down a teammate, but they're on site. Golden with the EMP. We'll see if they do go in for the plant or not, because I think they just might. If you have the bomb side, play it. I'm surprised nobody from Knights of Jerky is on A side trying to defend a different angle. They do get caught out, but they do get finished off. Mini G trying to survive, but does get shot from the corner as the EMP is planted. And Golden swinging wide, but does get shot down. And it looks like Numbskull accidentally shoots their own teammate, unfortunately. Really got to watch those angles because that was not the best for them. EMP has been planted. It's now a 2v2 situation, and it's not looking the most favorable for Knights of Jerky. As they look it around, trying to figure out where is the bomb, where are the 2 other teammates, because they're not quite sure where they're at. And I get it, you gotta be careful. You can't play aggressive. You gotta know where the EMP is at too. On top of that, Zenti able to hold that angle in the back, does get the kill, but they got 3 bullets to their name. I don't know if they can do anything with it. Unfortunately, they can't do anything. They are now down. At least the TV2 inside, trying to look around, see if they can do something, but at this point they're playing time. It's coming down to the wire. TV2 unfortunately can't do anything on the 1v1 situation. And with Zenti really playing time, very smart on Zenti not playing too aggressive, especially knowing that they're down their bullets. And TV2 unfortunately was, I get it. You don't know where everyone's at. You got the bomb on you. What do? Do you bait them out? Do you go for the defuse? And unfortunately, as they'll see on cast later, they were actually open to getting that defuse, but you can't play off of that, right? You're gambling at that point. So I definitely get what they're doing. It looks like now QuadHeadShot able to get that win. At this point, they are now even 1-1. So at this point, no one's really quite up on one end or the other. So we'll see if QuadHeadshots is able to keep their win going forward over Knights of Jerky, can peel it back and get the dub again. Because we've seen them do it once, we can see if they'll do it again, right? I did notice that QuadHeadshots, they really are playing more of a all aggressive through one side or the other, but then they'll end up switching out and doing some kind of flanking plays. So definitely very interesting strategy from them to really mix it up even on the go, right? So it looks like they are pushing in through family room. No one quite in there from Knights of Jerky. defending it quite yet. Definitely a very unsafe room to be holding in right now, especially considering they might be blowing hatch pretty soon. Jake looking around, seeing anyone in the background. They do not. Looks like Numbskull is trying to get those call-outs, saying, hey, people are in here. Can I get some assistance? It looks like they are going to be holding different angles, and it looks like they might be getting pinched pretty soon, which is definitely a very scary position for Numbskull to be in. They do get shot down by Golden in the back. Looks like Jake is maybe getting some call-outs potentially. We'll see. And they are holding down Family Room Balcony right now. Looks like TV2 playing that roamer on the floor. We'll see if they make any pushes up onto their back end, but it looks like they are retreating back as their teammates are calling them. Right now it is down. They are down a player. It's now a 5v4 situation. Not the worst. You know, you can still make something happen out of this, but definitely not a favorable position to be playing out of, right? And it looks like QuadHeadShots will be making a breach onto A side pretty soon. We'll see if they do make that push on the side and go for the plant. So they are pushing in the side. They go in for the frag. The frag doesn't quite go off. It's now open. There's a Plosh holding a different angle, seeing if they can do something from here. Mini G just really holding that weird off angle. Does poke up and gets a shot off on Plosh. And man, they are holding down that bomb site really well. Tempo getting a pistol kill off. We'll see if Mini G or Golden can do any. Oh, sorry, I can't say anything. Tempo really holding it down with the Jesper from the back. Maybe they're going for more distraction plays. It looks like they are. Yeah, they are. TV2 in the back, taking their time to come up the corner. We'll see if they have anything work here. TV2 playing aggressive in the back, coming in, gets a couple shots off, running. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out for them. At this point, it's down to a 2v1 situation, and that is so unfortunate because it was really panning out to be a really good lineup for Knights of Jerky, and unfortunately it did fall apart right at the end. I think, you know, TV2 had just literally pushed a couple seconds earlier. I think we would have been looking at a different win for this round, but it looks like QuadHeadShots again holding it down, really knowing when to clutch up, even with a roamer on your back, doing an amazing job and going for the plant, right? And I think that, you know, the round again shows that Knights of Jerky, don't count them out. You know, they've lost a variety of times right now, but they are almost there. The strategy is just almost executing well. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out for them when it does come down to it. But again, TV2, if you're watching this cast, I'm telling you, you got solid roaming ideas, but you just got to either come in a little bit sooner or leave a little bit later. Because you're just almost there. Because again, that would have turned out so different. But again, QuadHeadShots, really good push on them. They know what they're doing. They're really holding their plans to it, playing it a little slower, but not getting down in crunch time. They know, like, they're taking their time to really breathe through the round and not force things to happen within 10, 20 seconds of a round, right? But I think that's some of the things I've noticed with some of these newer players. They just want to force things to happen. Which isn't always the best way to play breachers, right? You don't want to force yourself into a very unfavorable position, because now you're just playing on the back half, on the back heel, and it's not going to be looking good for you when the defending team knows what they're doing, right? And it looks like we do have QuadHeadShots setting up on the other side, trying to make a really strong push in the wine cellar. Again, utilizing their drones, making sure that they have the intel before they go in. They do make the push in the wine cellar. No engagements quite yet. Looks like they are, again, taking their time, really scoping it out with the drone, making sure that everything's safe before they make their pushes in. Jake does go in for the flash, trying to play aggressive, comes out, swings wide, but doesn't quite see anybody yet. Mini G swinging, does get the shot off with the Viper onto someone with a Vezin. Crazy gameplay, and another shot off from Tempo, and beautiful. They're just holding down that corner right now, as QuadHeadShots is down 2 players now. Now down 3 players from Numbskull. Is that a wallbang, or just happens to get a good headshot off? And it looks like they're down to Zenti and Plosh, holding the really tight angles in the back area. It doesn't quite look the most favorable for them. We'll see if anything happens here. At this point, Knights of Jerky just holding the angles, not playing too aggressive, able to pick up you know, their gadgets. But at this point, they actually don't have to play aggressive. They have the EMP on them. At this point, they're actually defending EMP, which is favorable for them. Looks like Zenti able to get the wall bang through and gets a headshot on Numbskull. At this point, Zenti's down alone, trying their best to survive in Wine Cellar. But I can tell you right now, it is not the best position to be in, but it's fine. They do take out the Roamer TB2. It is now down to a 1v3 situation. And I'm really hoping Nice and Jerky doesn't mess this one up. Things did swing in their favor, and I'm hoping they can maintain this momentum. Because this round is looking like it's going to shape up to be theirs. As right now, Zenti is trying their best to run around. They don't have the EMP, so QuadHeadShots has to make something happen here. And I don't know if they can, because it's looking risky. It's looking risky here, you know, y'all. Zenti trying their best, just running around, trying to think of what to do. I think at this point they are going in for the save. They do have the Bezin. They do have a syringe. They're taking their time, and it's also 30 seconds left. They are going to play a save round. Unfortunately, not the most fun thing to watch, but it does make sense to do sometimes. So it is what it is. It looks like that round does go to Knights of Jerky. It is now a 2v2. You know, and who would have thought, right? It looked like it was shaping up to be really well from QuadHeadshots, but it doesn't work out for them in the end, as they do get just destroyed in that little hallway going towards storage on the little side by server. And, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, don't count on Knights of Jerky. Based off of map 1, you would have thought, oh, QuadHeadShot's just going to kill them and destroy them. But no, things are working out in their favor. They're doing a good job. Again, it's really down to execution details. Because that's what I'm seeing on QuadHeadShots. They have better mechanics sometimes in regards to shooting. Actually, no. So I've seen some nice Jerky players do crazy good with some of their gun mechanics. I mean, we saw a situation where it was literally an SMG versus, you know, an RCP versus the Bezin. Granted, they did get caught out, and you know, the QuadHeadshots player wasn't ready for it. But the RCP did down them and got a couple more shots off on top of that, right? So it looks like they will be playing through Family Room, getting a 4 or 5 man push through Family Room. Playing really aggressive, going straight to sight. Looks like Tempo's in the back, getting a couple shots off, knowing to hold that angle, gets a shot off and a headshot from that corner. We'll see if that corner does work out better for them. Unfortunately, Zenti's able to come in and finish that off. Doesn't quite work out for Tempo, but, you know, it's a trade. A trade is definitely better than just getting murdered. Looks like they are pushing in through Family Room right now. TB2 roaming on the 3rd floor, trying to see if they can catch someone out. But smart gameplay by them. Looks like Zenti trying to get in a couple wall bangs, but not quite working out for them. Definitely more of a gamble, I believe. It looks like Golden and Mini G are holding it down right now. Mini G holding the angle, does get a shot off on Golden, gets that little back flanker down. At this point, it's now down to a 3v4 situation for QuadHeadshots. Definitely not the best, but I've seen them, you know, do some crazy plays. Looks like G Money almost gets shot, but Zenti able to get that kill for their teammates. And looks like TB2 taking her time on the back half. TB2 playing aggressive now, finally getting the shot off, and is now down to a 3v2 situation with the Roamer on top. Looks like G Money and Plosh are holding that corner, really not trying to play out. They want to know that they're safe before they do anything. And really good gameplay, you know. That's why I think that's the ideal roamer. You get a kill, you go back, because the point is that they want to do time wasting, which is happening, right? You see Plosh, you see G Money scared because they're not quite sure who's around, who's holding different angles. Sorry, I'm still working on my camera work. At this point, it's down to G Money. We'll see if G Money can do anything on their own. They're really just looking everywhere, not quite sure how things are gonna happen. And it's not gonna be the best. At this point, they might be going for another save, maybe. It is a minute. It's a whole minute. It looks like they get caught out by TV2. The beautiful roamer that's playing the RCP. Again, an off-meta gun, doing pretty well right now. Because let's see, TV2 is killing a 9-2, consistently playing with the RCP. And I think I casted this, you know, I'm casting this game right now, and I casted a game last night that we had a team that honestly got a good amount of kills on some off-meta guns. And that's what I'm liking. That's what I'm liking right now with Breachers. That some of these teams can still play pretty well with these weird off-meta guns. And at this point, I think that's better, right? It should come down to what gun are you better with, and not always what's the most meta gun. Obviously, Vezin, That's gonna reign king for a while, and I don't think they're gonna nerf it. You know, it will be a rough day if Triangle Factory does decide to nerf the Vezin, because people will be up in arms about it. I can definitely bet you that. But who knows? You know, they are the development team. They want to decide what makes the most sense for the most, you know, maximum amount of fun for this game. And I think that's the best way to approach all this. Like, don't worry about the competitive side of it. Just make sure that the game is fun, and the comp stuff will come later, right? So it looks like it will be on the 3rd floor. Nice and Jerky. We've seen them make a good push onto 3rd floor before. We'll see if that they can do it again. Doing a lot of cross angles. Players all across the map. Looks like Plosh is able to get that kill off on tempo. And looks like on the other side, the team will be making a push in through bedroom, trying to make a couple pokes in. But they do get caught out right now by the proximity. We'll see if that does come to bite them in the butt. But it looks like for now, they will be safe. Zenti trying to get a couple shots off, and Plosh holding the top, getting that door down, trying to get their teammates ready to push in. Looks like they are going to be making a strong push on the B side, which is definitely going to work out in their favor. Right now it's down to a 5v4 situation. They are numbers up. TV2 roaming again on the back half. Unfortunately does get caught out by Zenti in the outside. At this point, it's now down to a 3v4 situation for Nice. No, it is down to a 2v4 situation for Nice with Jerky. I'm just kidding. It's a 1v4 situation. Kevlar in the back does get the shot off on Plosh. And at this point, it is down to the wire for them as 3 teammates, 3 enemy players are on the other side, on the other bomb site. Unfortunately, they do have the EMP, so they will be playing it. Kevlar killing it right now. Able to get the shot off on G Money. At this point, it's down to a 1v2 situation. And, you know, I would have counted Kevlar out earlier, but no, they're killing it right now. Right now, the bottom fragger getting their first 2 kills on a clutch round. We'll see if they can make anything happen here as they poke around this corner. Trying to see if anyone's on site. At this point, is not the best. They're pushing on to the EMP, looking around, trying to see if they can get a couple kills before they make a push in. Jake and Zenti are both holding down their positions, trying to see if they can catch out Kevlar. Kev looking around, making sure it's safe before they push in, but they do get caught out by Jake in the back, unfortunately. Not quite checking every single angle, and is now down to an even split. It's still 3v3. I don't know what's going on here. But, you know, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's looking a lot closer. It's looking a lot better. But, you know, everything that happened in the last 6 rounds doesn't matter. It is now down to they just reset sides. At this point, we do have quad headshots on the other side. We'll see if they can hold it down just as well as Knights of Jerky did on the defending part of this map. You know, as I mentioned before, Hideout is consistently mentioned as one of those enforcers or attacking heavy side. Where people think it's a lot easier to push on the site than it is to be defending it, right? Knights of Jerky on the outside, looking around, trying to make their setup onto the first floor. Looks like they are going to be playing sort of a really big split play again. I think we've seen that happen from them a lot. They'll either really clump up a lot or really spread out. You know, for better or for worse, right? Zenti on the top, trying to get a poke in. Looks like they go in for the frag. Doesn't quite make it all the way through, unfortunately. That would have been a beautiful toss if it made it over. And Knights of Jerky preparing their setup, trying to see if they can make this push in. Tempo making a couple peeks in. I'm trying to get the screen set up right. Taking their time. No one's pushing. Everyone's just, it's a little dance. You know, they're looking back and forth, trying to figure out who's pushing, who's not. It looks like on the other side, TV2 making a really good attack on the roamer. Able to get that shot off on the top. Unfortunately, I did not catch that on camera, but it's fine. It's fine. Nice and Jerky trying to make their way in. But they do get caught out by G Money in the back, holding it down. We'll see if they will make that push in right now. Knights of Jerky playing a little more conservative because they know that G Money's on the back half there. I should have brought water. Sorry, my throat's closing up. G Money really holding that angle. Looks like they are pushing in through the breach spot right now. Tempo looking in, trying to get a couple pokes off. Gets a couple shots off on G Money. Does finish it off for them at this point. Well, I don't even know where they got shot from. Sorry. It is now down to a 3v2 situation with Knights of Jerky on the upper hand. They have the EMP plant. They have their teammate above, maybe going in for some shots through hatch, holding that little boiler side. At this point, quad headshots working in their pairs, trying to come in from the other side, seeing that they can get a couple shots off or even a kill before they make their way onto site. Jake Destroyer working themselves with the Taurus, one of the more interesting guns, because if you can get those headshots off, you are definitely gonna be good. Quad headshot setting up slowly. They see the EMP, I believe. Trying to get the shots off doesn't quite work out for them, as both teammates from Knights of Jerky jumps down, trying to see if they can get that kill off. Claws holding their time back, does get shot out by Mini G, and at this point they are now holding themselves on the other end. Jake the Destroyer deciding to just run off site and play things a little bit safer. Even in the pistol round, they're going for the save. They really want that Taurus and they want that syringe, so I get it. I get it. Maybe we can get a couple kills on the back half here. We'll see what happens. So a favorable win there for Knights of Jerky on the first round switch, and that's, you know, I keep saying it. You can't count them out. Quad headshots are putting up a fair game, but man, Knights of Jerky, they're doing some crazy gameplay. It's kind of doing some unexpected results, right? Their attack is working out for them favorably right now. They're on, you know, the advantage right now as they have that first round win in their pockets. We'll see if they can make something happen with the extra money, or if we'll see if quad headshots can actually hold it down better this round. We'll see. Knights of Jerky. Knights of Jerky getting ready for the sub. Looks like someone does throw the frag out. Not quite sure if their teammate accidentally did that to themselves. Looks like Minichi goes in for a couple wall bangs, or sorry, not wall bangs. Gets a shot off on the teammate on the back half. Unfortunately, Jake the Destroyer destroying people through the wall with their Taurus. At this point, is now hectic. A lot of trading back and forth, and it's down to a 4v3 situation for quad headshots. It is now looking favorable for them. As things didn't quite work out for Knights of Jerky there. I don't know quite what happened, but I'll tell you, it didn't work out the best for them. Looks like they do know where that little shot is in the back. They're going for a couple wall bangs there. Tempo trying to get a breach, but dang, Jake the Destroyer again, just destroying the people through the wall. You know, moments like this, I would say wall hack. I'm just kidding. But Jake the Destroyer, I think those 2 wall bangs in 1 round. You know, if anyone's cracked this round or has MVP this round, it's definitely gonna be Jake. I'm putting it out there. And Jake's doing pretty well in general, but it's fine. You know, looks like it's down to a 4. Never mind, it's down to a 4v3 situation as TV2 again on the back half is able to get the shots off. Looks like they are trying to avoid getting wall banged by G Money in the back. TV2 does come in. They're ready for the breach. We'll see if Knights of Jerky can be successful with this. They go in for the, they're throwing the syringe, looks like. They are setting up well. They throw it back. At this point, I don't know. Jake the Destroyer was killing it with that Taurus. We'll see that they can hold it again. Looks like they are throwing out the drone. So they're going to get some intel before they make anything happen. Jake really hiding in the background, making sure that the drone doesn't know that they're there. This point, quad headshots just really holding down B side. They feel like Knights of Jerky is going to be making a strong push onto it, and I would too. They were making a lot of noise over here. TV2 really taking their time to come around, swing around the back, see if that they can maybe catch out G Money on the back half as G Money is watching that back flank. We'll see if anything kind of develops here. Looks like the numbskull might be waiting for TV2 to make something happen on the back half. At this point, TV2 is looking around. Does see G Money gets the kill. At this point, the team is now switching over, thinking that they're going in for a crazy reset. Looks like Numbskull's on the back half, coming through, trying to get the EMP potentially. Or where did Numbskull? I can't find them. It's fine. TV2 going in for the shots. Numbskull, their teammate on the other side, just trying to do something. What are you? Sorry. I can't be critical. Oh, I can't be critical. We're casting. Looks like Numbskull is coming over, trying to get the pick up the EMP. Looks like they didn't pick up the EMP. Yes, they did. Looks like they're going for another drone play. They have 5 seconds. They literally have to plant right now or going for the kill. Otherwise, the round will not be theirs. Unfortunately, Numbskull gets caught out, and so does TV2. And Jake the Destroyer killing it with that Taurus. I believe Jake the Destroyer had 4 kills, maybe even an ace that round with just the Taurus alone. And I don't know, you know, Taurus is one of those guns where I'm wondering, is it meta? Is it not meta? I don't know, because the fact that you can get these one-shot headshot kills, it makes the gun look pretty good. I'm just saying. But they are disrupting Knights of Jerky, as they did lose those rounds, but you know, QuadHeadShot's able to mix things up and make things work out better for them. We'll see if they can keep this momentum going or keep disruption going forward. So Knights of Jerky are playing more of an SMG buyout round, while QuadHeadShots do have a fair amount of money. And Jake the Destroyer really being an eco player, just utilizing that Taurus until it stops working, I think, at this point, which I would do the same thing. If I had that kind of headshot... sorry, I'm like burping right now. Headshot skills, I would do the same thing with that Taurus and just utilize it until it does not matter anymore. You know, when I say something like eco player, you have someone like Jake the Destroyer, right? If they're rocking a Taurus the whole time, they can keep doing that and just buy out their teammates' gadgets and give them attachments. At this point, the teammates just need to buy their guns, right? Which is good. It saves them more money. They can save up for longer and do better. And it looks like Plosh able to get a couple shots off from the defending position from Mini G as they try to poke in through that back area. Kevlar and TV2 looks like they're going to be on the top, just waiting for some commands as QuadHeadShot is just holding down bomb site. Really not doing much right now. Zenti trying to maybe get a wall bang if possible. Because as we're seeing right now, you know, QuadHeadShots really has been making a fair amount of wall bangs work on their favor. Jake the Destroyer being the wall bang master right now. And you know, I guess if you shoot out a wall enough times, eventually it's got to hit somebody, right? But you know, we'll see what happens. I think, you know, Knights of Jerky right now is just really trying to switch up their gameplay. They're down a player. Things aren't quite working out for them right now. They're trying to figure out where can they go, where can they poke in, where can we make things happen. And that's kind of the hardest part right now. When you're down a player so early in the round, it does disrupt the momentum. It does kind of kill some of the vibes. But we'll see if anything works out. Right now, no roamers from QuadHeadShots. They are playing very aggressive on side. Looks like they do get the breach in on site from the other team. TV2 trying to get some folks around. A lot of shots are being traded right now. It is now down to a 3v1 situation. And things have just swung heavily in Knights of Jerky's favor. Looks like they don't have the EMP though to plan. Looks like they're looking around trying to figure out where they're at. I'm not quite sure where everybody was at, but you know, it's fine. Looks like TV2, definitely one of the top fraggers, playing aggressive. Unfortunately, does get caught out by G Money, and G Money just really holding the angle. As who died? Sorry, I can't remember. It's fine. Looks like G Money is swinging around to the other side, trying to mix things up, trying to see if they can reset the play and have things work out better in their favor. Looking around, trying to see if there's anyone around them or not. Playing it very slow. And it's smart, you know, you got a full minute. When the EMP is planted, you don't got to rush, you don't got to play crazy hard. You have a lot of time on your hand. Looks like G Money is very much aware of that, as they are looking around. Does get picked out by Numbskull, unfortunately, and the round does go to Knights of Jerky. And man, is it getting close. I don't know. Maybe Knights of Jerky is going to win this one. I'm just saying, they've been having some really strong, you know, attacking pushes, and QuadHeadShots I'm not sure. Maybe they're not the best at defending on the site, because it really is switching up a lot for them. You know, especially considering how well they performed on Skyscraper. But you know, as has been mentioned 10,000 times before, you can be great on one map and you can be great on one position on a map, but it don't matter. Once we get to a new map, everything resets and we can things switch up, right? But I gotta, you know, good credit to Nice Jerky not letting that disrupt their momentum, not letting that get inside their heads, and just knowing that, hey, it's a new map. Let's rethink how we're doing and just keep pushing forward. And that's what they've been doing. They've been slowly but surely pushing forward. And whenever they lose the round, they don't overthink it. They just keep going and let things happen. And I gotta give them credit for that. Oh yeah, my throat is killing me. I should have gotten the water. It's fine. My throat is killing me right now, and you know, if I can get like a hydration, can I call my Uber Eats? I'm just kidding. It's fine. I am thirsty right now. Nice Jerky setting up outside of storage and gym, trying to get a couple shots in. They can see G Money in the back, but that angle is just a little too tight for Mini G to be making. Or they're trying to go for a distraction play. Really, actually, no, they're really holding that angle, trying to see if they can get that shot on G Money. Which they are going in for the breach through Jim's side. At this point, we just have the couple roamers and stuff moving around. Kevlar moving in through the foyer. Doesn't quite see Plosh. Does get caught out by Plosh. Unfortunately, did not quite check that little corner in the side. And I know how it is. That corner is hard to look at sometimes. And it looks like Tempo is holding up in the top, trying to see if they can get a couple shots off on Plosh. I don't know if they can see them. Plosh now stuck in that corner, but is able to make the run out, as they are, I think, what are they at? 2 health? Oh my goodness, you can tickle their toes and they'll be dead. Tickle your toes, that was a weird phrase. It's fine. And again, TV2 on the top, maybe trying to catch any of the roamers out. And I've seen that a lot from Nice Jerky, really playing an interesting attack roamer, which I'm not used to seeing. But it does work out. You know, the enemy team, the roamer, they're not expecting it, because they're expecting a push from one side only, and because that's consistently been happening from these teams. They're playing more of a 3-1 or 4-1 sort of formation. I totally missed that. Tempo does get the shot off through Hatch and able to get Denti down. At this point, it's now down to a 4v3 situation, and it's not looking good right now, as QuadHeadShot is down with their backs against the wall, but time is on their side. Miniji trying their best to really distract everybody, making sure that they're looking over here. Tempo and Numbskull are really holding their angles. TV2 on the back half does get the shot off. I can't find them. There you are, TV2. Again, TV2 showing how you can play an attacking roamer. I'm not used to it, but you could do it. If it works, it works. But time is starting to count down. It's now 40 seconds left in the round. Nice Jerky has to make this push. Otherwise, things will not work out and they will lose the round, even when things were going so well for them. Looks like Mini G has the EMP coming in through the back half. Looking around for some safety. Tempo does make the drop in. Looks like the full team is now on B side, really holding it down. At this point, is now down to G Money getting the shot off on the EMP, but it does get planted. Is now down to a 2v2 situation, and things are not looking the best right now for QuadHeadShots. We'll see if they can do anything. They're down health on both players. Playing on the outside, Numbskull does get the shot off. At this point, they are playing on the outside, watching that EMP from a more favorable position. At this point, it's down to Plosh, seeing if they can do anything. And I don't know if they can. It's looking hard. They're looking at all angles. Not quite sure where anyone else is. But they are looking out. Seeing they can get a couple shots off potentially. Numbskull playing it low. And Tempo able to get the shot off with the pheasant. But Numbskull is able to finish it off. No sweat. It's now down to Knights of Jerky with a leading by 2 points now. I think for the first time ever in this series. It is now down to a 4v6 situation. They have game point and they have the economy on their side at this point. QuadHeadShots has barely any money. I mean, 1 or 2 players, maybe 3 can get pheasants, but that's really the best that they can do at this point. We'll see if they can mix anything up. We'll see if they can hold it down and potentially push this for a tie, because the best that they can do now with Knights Jerky having 6 rounds in their pocket, the best that QuadHeadShots can do is get the draw. I don't know, I'm getting nervous. You know, I'm wondering how is Hideout, sorry, not Hideout. How is Factory gonna go? You know, you have a win, a definitive win from QuadHeadShots for, you know, map 1. For map 2, you have a strong, balanced win. I'm thinking potentially from Knights of Jerky if they win this round. And then map 3, Factory could really swing any different way. Knights of Jerky on the outside, setting up, utilizing drones again. As we're seeing, drones are being utilized, I think, more and more now because of their amazing intel that they can offer without having to waste, you know, your life or anything. You can come in still knowing that what you know, without having to play too aggressive and lose any players, right? Looks like the team is pushing into bedroom, trying to potentially play their B-side push again. Another drone coming in through B-side. Does get shot out almost immediately. TB2 on the back half, trying to see if they can see anyone in the back, but no one quite poking out yet. As TB2 swings wide with their RCP. You know, their meta looks like there's a lot of action going in on B-side right now. People aren't quite sure where to go. Lots of pushes back and forth. Zenti gets a shot. I can't even say everything. A lot of people got shot down. It's about 3 or 4 people down. It's now down to a 3v2 situation. Unfortunately, Mini G is able to get the plant off. Tempo looking around, trying to see if they can catch anybody. Does get the shot off. This point's down to Tempo. Can they finish it? Can they clutch up? No! Tempo, they were right there. Is now down to a 1v1 situation with the EMP planted for Knights of Jerky. Can they clutch up? Can they win their first map in this series against QuadHeadShots? Looks like they are playing around with their frag. Not quite sure what's going on there. But I'm wondering if Zenti's not quite sure where the EMP is. They're looking around. They're on the back half. They're almost wasting time, maybe clearing out the map, but they're going for the long reset, it looks like. We'll see if Zenti can do anything here. Does get shot down by Tempo, unfortunately, as they do get caught out running. And it looks like the round win does go to Knights of Jerky. You know, really impressive gameplay from Knights of Jerky. I don't want to say not expecting them to do it, but definitely wasn't quite sure if they could eke out this round or even this whole map. Really beautiful gameplay by them. I didn't think, you know, it was going to turn out the way it did, but man, there were so many times where things were going in QuadHeadShot's favor, and then things just swing hard into Knights of Jerky as they have crazy picks from one of the rounds. So definitely credit to Knights of Jerky for sticking it out, doing well, and saying, hey, we're down a round or two, but it's fine. We'll always come back. And they did several times over. And it looks like Knights of Jerky is switching things up. But we are going to be going into Factory. You know, as you can see right now, QuadHeadShot had the 7-1 win on Skyscraper, with Knights of Jerky with a 7-4 win on Hideout. You know, it's anyone's game at this point. Factory, I think people tend to say it swings more on a defender's kind of. It's more of a favorable position for defenders, but we'll see. I think we've seen with these teams, some of these people are better at attacking or defending, and I'm not quite sure which team's better or what. It looks like Knights of Jerky had mixed, you know, results attacking on Skyscraper, but did amazing on Hideout. And QuadHeadShots several times, you know, they did amazing on attacking, but some of their defensive plays have just not really panned out well for them. So we'll see how things do turn out, but it's shaping up to be a good final round 3. I don't know who's gonna win. I really don't, you know. But I like it that way. You know, you're never quite sure who's gonna win. And I think that makes it way more interesting of a game than anything else. QuadHeadShots appears that they are going to be subbing people out potentially, or maybe getting some resets or something like that, because they are got 3 people in the lobby, and the Knights of Jerky is ready to go because they got all 5 ready to push in. But you know, we're fine. I need to get more instant replays because there's too much going on. But it's fine. We're good here, just hanging out. Definitely really strong gameplay from both sides. You know, QuadHeadShots, they've only played 1 game before this, so definitely very very impressive gameplay by Knights of Jerky, being their second game in competitive VRML, in the VRML breachers at least. We'll see if they can push out and finish this final round 3, because at this point it's anyone's game. And I don't know who I would bet on. At first QuadHeadShots had a beautiful performance on Skyscraper. I was gonna bet on them, honestly. But Knights of Jerky, I'm telling you, I saw little nuggets of them doing well, and I'm like, I don't know, they just tighten things up a little bit more. They can do it. They had several times where it came down to 1 or 2 players. So I knew they had it in them. So we'll see what happens here. As it appears Knights of Jerky will be starting on Revolters for Factory. With QuadHeadShots, they'll be on the attacking part of this. We'll see if things do work out better for them this time around. Looks like we might need to take a small break. They are really taking their time. I will maybe run some ads. I don't know. I've never really run ads, so let's run them, because we'll be back. Sorry, I meant to say it looks like they are taking a break, so I already came back. It's fine. I'm not gonna run the ads. I will be hanging out here, having a good time. And I think that one of the cool things that I saw from Knights of Jerky several times. I think this is my second cast where I've seen one team kind of go for the min-maxing approach and the other team go for kind of buyout or a half buy round, right? Knights of Jerky consistently utilizing SMGs. I mean, even who was it? Someone was utilizing RCP almost the whole time, even when they had the money to buy the Vezins. However, on the other side, QuadHeadShots, they tend to play more min-maxing. We've seen them consistently go in for pistol rounds and try to get to those Vezin rounds, but they do have an eco player, right? They had Jake the Destroyer consistently popping heads off with that Taurus, or at least getting easy kill shots with that Taurus. So definitely a very interesting game in regards to economy and seeing how things play out. So I'm always excited to see teams mix it up. Cyclones and Vezins, that gets boring. That's 2 guns, right? Who wants to play the same 2 guns every single time at the competitive level? I prefer when it goes more along the route of play the gun that you can do best with, and you can argue that you can always do that, but it's not always the case when you start talking about things like economy, right? In other games like Rainbow Six, they don't have to worry about economy. They can just buy their operator stuff and get everything set up and then just kind of just go in, right? We have games like Breachers, or you have games like CSGO, Valorant, where you have economy as a part of the strategy, especially at the competitive level. Economy management is also another thing you have to worry about on top of team strategy, on top of mechanical skill, and it just adds that much more layers to a game like Breachers, right? But it looks like they will be taking their time this round. Maybe I should run some ads. We'll see how it goes. Things are going well. Yeah, they are taking their time. But we'll run some ads and I'll bring y'all back in when I see the 5th player, because it looks like maybe they are going for a little bathroom break. So we'll see how that goes, right?
Hey, chat.
All right. They are still in the game. So we'll just keep it waiting in here. We're fine. I did get my water finally. So can you can +1 in the chat if you'd like drinking your water? Because I'm thirsty. You know, casting's fun. But your throat can get really dry and it is killer. But it's fine. You know. We are still waiting for quad headshots. Look like maybe that one of their players is really taking an extended stay on having things work out. We'll look at the lobby right now. Just kind of hanging out, having a good time at this point. Yeah, they are just gonna be hanging out, play some b-ball, you know, looking around, trying to enjoy themselves. We'll see what happens though. As they are hanging out here. You know, I wish there was some lobby music I can play right now or some elevator music, but nothing quite right now that I can do. As we are going to be waiting for them. I didn't really get any information on whether they are waiting for anybody or doing a break, because I have no knowledge. Unfortunately, I don't have any instant replay stuff to play. I'm still just learning to click all my buttons here because there's so many things to press when you're casting, especially for the first time on your own. But we'll be good. Here's an ode to water. I will be drinking water. Can I do that on cast? I'm not sure. No one really told me I couldn't drink water on cast, but I hope I could. Because a man is getting a little thirsty. Whew. Alright, so in the chat, obviously, tell me what you think, who's gonna win. What do you think the score line is gonna be? I'm always curious to see what people are gonna say about that. Because it could really go any way. Christ. Sorry, I'm just typing crazy right now in the chat, but it's fine. We'll be good. I don't think I have the sponsor stuff set up. Like, I don't know all the lines, but it's fine. I have the ads. Does that work? I don't know. We'll be fine. I'm really taking my time, hanging out, waiting for quad headshots to have their teammate come in because you know, it's always so fun to watch people play basketball in a shooting game. You know, it's funny, I was playing in the lobby once with some of my teammates, and they were just like, yeah, y'all need to try out this game called, like, Blacktop, whatever, because it's another basketball game, but they were just like, yeah, it's a weird game, though. It's still really buggy, and I mean, I think it's an app lab or something, so it's still very, not quite there yet, right? So, we're just hanging out here, waiting until the teams can come back. And you know, I want to talk more about strategy again, but I feel like I've already beaten it to the ground. But you know, I've spent so much time looking through a lot of these maps, and it looks like they did hit the button to move forward. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. We'll see what happens as the round progresses forward. Looks like they will be playing with the bot. Sorry, not broad. Bratwurst. No, I'm just kidding. Looks like quad headshots will be down a player. They'll be playing with a bot, Tristan, which who knows? Maybe Tristan's actually one of the most cracked bots ever. Because I don't know if y'all ever had that bot that just utterly destroys you. Because I have, and it's not fun. I'll definitely say that. Sorry, my throat. At this point, we do have Knights of Jerky defending. As we've seen, some of their defensive plays have kind of been okay. They've been a little bit better on the attacking half, but I think I trust Knights of Jerky more on defending than I do them on attacking. But maybe I'll eat my words this map. We'll see if they can switch anything up and have things work out better in their favor as they do have things start out. The round is starting out now. We'll see if quad headshots will make their push in. They are pushing in through storage. Zenti looking around, throwing in the frag. Doesn't quite hit anybody. Golden, they do see the double laser in storage, while their teammates on the other side, you know, we're seeing really a 3-1, 3-2 kind of sort of setup here where they're doing cross attacking through lobby and janitor potentially. It looks like she might accidentally shoots their teammate a little bit. They said sorry. And right now, Tempo holding it back on the other half. Looks like they will be breaching in onto A side pretty soon, as they are holding down Janitor for the most part, while the other teammates are holding down Storage. We'll see if this has a strong push in. I don't even know if Numbskull's ready for this breach. Looks like they go in for the breach. Zenti in the long angle, trying to see if they can shoot someone down. While their teammates are making a push in through Electric, they do get poked out from Tempo on the back half. Looks like they are trying to clear it out, and dang, Jake the Destroyer again with the Taurus destroying people's heads, and they are not ready for that. I don't know if they have health insurance for that. Looks like TB2 on the roaming, maybe a little bit late on the roaming, because they're now caught out in a 1v3 situation. And right now, really strong push that we saw from QuadHeadShots there. I think they're aware now of their teammate being on the top second floor, but not quite the enemy being on the second floor, not quite sure where they are at. Looks like they are going for the plant on A side by the little corner, as they're really holding down their teammates. At this point, TB2 is not in the best position. They are down to 23 health with a 1v3 situation, and right now, you know, Jake's killing it with those headshots. We'll see if they can get another pick off right now. As TB2 is coming around the corner, we'll see if they engage anybody. TB2 really taking their time to come in, looking around the corners, making sure it is safe. The timer is counting down, not looking the best for TB2, having to check every single corner. Looks like Golden, unsure that they're even there, actually sees them, does get the shot off, and Golden in the little cheeky corner does get a win for round one for QuadHeadShots. QuadHeadShot. Yeah, it's singular. Not looking the best for Knights of Jerky. We'll see if they can do anything about this. Sorry, I was taking a water break. QuadHeadShots got that dub for the first round. We've seen them again do very well on the attacking, especially when you have somebody like Jake the Destroyer playing more of an eco player for a lot of the game, especially when you know you got those headshots off. You play the Taurus. Like I wish I could do it, but I can't. I tried learning the Taurus the other day, and I hated it. So credit to Jake the Destroyer really playing into their strength and really maximizing the amount of money they have for their teammates. We'll see if they can continue this momentum going forward. They do have the first round win, so things are looking favorable for them. But you know, things can always switch up. As we've seen between these two teams, Knights of Jerky has crazy mix-ups that they can do. Looks like Tempo now aware that they are coming in, looking at their teammates, waiting for someone else to get the shot off. Unfortunately, cannot get the two-piece. Golden down a couple shots, but they are able to trade. At this point, things aren't looking the best. QuadHeadShots is down 2 players. Now a 4v3 situation. Things are now on the upper hand for Knights of Jerky. We'll see if they can make something else swing in their favor. TB2 playing that deep roamer role again. We'll see if they are able to catch out the enemy team without them knowing. Zenti throwing in the frag, seeing they can potentially get somebody that's hiding in the kitchen area. Doesn't quite work out with anybody. We'll see if TB2 is able to come in, get a couple shots in or not, as they are playing aggressive on the back half. Unfortunately, they didn't focus too much on one person. They got distracted, and they unfortunately were not able to finish and secure that kill. It does make it an even split now. It's a 3v3 situation with the team making a push into the breach on kitchen. Zenti looking around, trying to see if they can shoot any gadgets out potentially, or even team, players. I don't know about y'all, but I never play that hatch below. It's too risky. It's just too risky. Kevlar looking around, trying to get a couple shots off. At this point, it is down to QuadHeadShots, trying to make a strong push in the kitchen on the A side as the time is ticking down. It's about a minute left, a minute 20 left as they're trying to make some kind of push in. They're stuck on that staircase and waiting. Looks like they were waiting for that syringe to ready up, as now they're trying to get their teammates' health all the way up to full. Mini-G really trying to get that lean in and working out their legs, trying to get a couple shots in as their teammates potentially come in. Zenty running, does get a couple wall bangs, but doesn't finish the job. At this point, they are waiting. It's 40 seconds. It's counting down. Unfortunately, their teammate does go down for the count. Kevlar is not able to survive that. It's now down to a 3v2 situation with 30 seconds on the clock. We'll see if they can do anything about this, because it is not looking like it's going to work out. I don't know who to say who's going to win this one, because it's looking tight. Mini-G able to get the shot off. Does get another shot off on Zenty in the back. It's now down to a 1v1 situation with Nick is best having literally 14 health. Can they make the push in? Is Numbskull going to let them plant it? What do you... Numbskull does make it in and is able to get the shot off. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them. It is now even. And I don't know, this round's looking tighter. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know who's going to win. It could be anyone, right? Looks like it's gonna be another tight map. You know, we'll be fine. We'll see if we get some stats on there. Golden and oh wow, Jake Destroyer I thought would be higher this one. Golden's been killing it right now with 4-1, and Mini-G consistently playing very well. You know, on Nice of Jerky. I've seen Mini-G consistently really winning those gunfights, which I didn't think they would win. You know. And then we have TV2 here playing that roamer role again, usually offside maybe a whole floor or two. You know, my one criticism, I play roamer all the time myself, is just you gotta like really be very responsive and ebb and flow. We've seen TV2 play some strong roamer plays, but they don't always quite work out. Or we saw like last round, right, where they did not get the kill off. It still worked out for Nice of Jerky, but it could have worked out better, right? Quad headshots coming in through the back on janitor and storage, and with their teammates coming in through lobby. It looks like they're going for a really wide play, really believing in their teammates' skill level to not have to always have 2-3 people in packs, right? At this point, Nice of Jerky is pretty well spread out themselves. We have Tempo and even TV2 playing hard roamer roles or deep roamer roles, and even Mini-G. There's only 2 people on site playing through the rotation area. Definitely a more risky defensive play, but I don't know, it could pay off. At this point, the team being aware where everyone's at, potentially making a push in through storage. We'll see if anything does happen here. They do have the breach off on A side at this point. I don't know where they're going to go. They're all over the place. TV2 does get the pick off in the back. That is the EMP down. Not quite sure if they did see it, though, because they could just hold that angle. Jake the Destroyer coming in. Numbskull does get a shot off. Jake trying their best to get the couple kills there, but doesn't quite work out for them. Jake really holding the tight angle. They don't even, not quite sure where the EMP is at. Mini-G in the back does get shot off and picked off by their teammate on the recovery. At this point, is now down to a 3v3 situation. Not the worst, but it looks like Quad Headshots does have the momentum going into this round. We'll see if they can keep it going forward, or if Nice Jerky is saying, you know, yeah, we'll take a couple deaths, but it's fine. We know we'll win this round. We'll see what happens here. As the EMP is trying to make their way slowly onto site, but not quite pushing. Looks like TV2 in the back, as Numbskull is engaging 2 players. TV2 playing hard roamer on the back. Jay is aware of the situation. We'll see if they are going to win this one. They do not. TV2, oh no. Unfortunately, the recoil was too much for them to bear, as they could not get that kill off. Jake Destroyer gets Nick the Best gets another kill off. At this point, it's a 3v1 situation. They're going in for the plant. Let's see if Tempo is able to make something happen here while they're waiting for someone to come out. It swung hard and Knights of Jerky. You know, they had that the roamer play, the roamer play, the roamer play. You had the setup, it just couldn't finish, unfortunately, because they were just right there, literally in front of you, but just could not get that headshot, unfortunately. At this point, it's Tempo really taking their time, not pushing it yet. They do have a full minute to push them around. We'll see if they can make their way in. Throwing in the frag. Unfortunately, we'll see if they get poked out by... Oh, they know someone's back there. They did get the damage hit, but they were not watching their back and gets shot by Jake Destroyer through the hallway, and that does give the round to QuadHeadShot. Beautiful gameplay, you know, QuadHeadShots, killing it here. I don't know, you know, I never know who's gonna win a round, and that's what I'm liking between these two teams, right? I don't want to look at one team and just know they're gonna roll that round. Consistently, it comes down to one or two players or some crazy attack play or defensive play that just crumbles the other team down in literally a matter of seconds, right? A matter of seconds. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see if Knights of Jerky can come back. The economy is not looking the worst for them, but you know, QuadHeadShots, they're fully kitted out. We'll see if Knights of Jerky is able to hold us down, as some of them are still rocking pistols, really playing hard into eco, because things didn't quite work out for them in the previous round. I don't think we've had a third floor push yet on this map. You know, that's what I don't like about the randomness. Sometimes you don't get to play every floor, which I think it's not fun. You know, it'd be nice if you can play every floor, but it's fine. Looks like Zenti looking around, trying to breach up top, running around, potentially running the TV2. I'm not sure if they're aware of them in the background. Zenti trying to get the you know, I can't even talk. Look down into the hatch. Doesn't quite get anything happening with their frag. And wow, they, you know, that QuadHeadShot's really playing wide this round, playing all over the place. So you're not really quite sure where they're going to be attacking from. G Money going in, preparing for the breach as the team does push in onto a certain control room, making the breach finally into A site. We'll see if the defending team's able to respond. At this point, not really much shots have been traded. It's a lot of back and forth, but nothing quite. As I said, that TV2 able to get a shot off on Zenti. Looks like they are breaching again through the other side of control room, which is a very interesting play. Maybe they really want to open up the play here. You know, more credit to them. And Jake Destroyer really trying their best looking around. They have EMP on them, trying to make a lot of noise in control room, but it looks like they are going in for the distraction plays. They're going to be pushing into the display room pretty soon. We have Tempo defending it and Kevlar in the back, making the call out saying, hey, I'm hearing people here. I think we need to rotate over. Let's see what happens. Tempo looking around, rocking the Cyclone. We'll see if they can make anything happen with it, though. Kevlar holding that angle with Jesper, you know, 2 cents to their name. I don't know if they can do anything here, but we'll see if they can. TV2 able to get the shot off on Nick is the best, as they are coming around the back. On the other end, though, Jake is getting the shots off. We'll see if anything happens here. I can't keep up with people. They're all over the place. They are really opening up this play wide. Kevlar, right as I say that, gets the kill with the Jesper. And Golden able to finish off that kill. Let's see if Kev can finish it off. Kev gets the win that round with the Jesper. Not expected. And I'm telling you, Knights of Jerky always playing crazy. And I love it. You know, I love it. Literally, the one who won that round was the one with a Jesper. I'm just saying. Like, what more can you say? You can see right now, Kevlar playing hard in that eco. Does have the money now to buy a Vezin. And it looks like things are working out well, right? At least for now, for Knights of Jerky. The economy is still pretty even. Both teams are getting Vezins pretty well spread out. We'll see if any team plays a little bit harder into this. I think this is the first time that on this series that they're playing, sorry, not the series, this map, where they're playing on the 3rd floor. We'll see what's going on here. You know, we haven't really seen these teams make any plays out on this floor, so it's going to be fresh, right? That's one of the hard things about this game is if you keep playing the same bomb site, you gotta mix up your strategies. Otherwise, the enemy team will learn what you're doing and they will adjust if needed. And it looks like we are having a 5-man push potentially onto roof, or maybe they're just hanging out, having a little bit of laughs before the round does start. Looks like G Money is prepping the breach. And the drone is out. See if they are playing into storage. Just looking around, trying to see if they see anybody, but not really much going on. Tempo does get the shot off on the drone. They are aware of the position. We'll see if they do take advantage of that. Looks like Peter, looks like their teammate did just drop. Peter, the bot, is now in. Looks like they're playing really hard on this storage. You got 4 person team. Looks like their teammate Golden just came back in as they're doing their best to play all across the map. Everyone really taking their time. You know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 on site, and you got Mini G playing on that hard roamer role on the bottom. We'll see if they do play into that more or take their time as they push in. Because some roamers they play like deep roamer and they play time on that, right? Looks like they do get the shot off on Mini G. That is they are now up 1 kill. We'll see if Mini G does hold that position. I don't know if they will. Trying to find Mini G. Mini G actually able to get another shot, but does get caught out by Zenti. But that is fine. They did their job. They have 2 players down now on quad headshots. We'll see if Knights of Jerky will come back through this. And nope, they just had another trade. Is now a 3v3 situation, is now even. Right now, Knights of Jerky, I don't know, they had it. I don't know. I mean, who knows who has it, right, at this point. Quad headshots prepping for the breach on the B site. We'll see if they are going to be actually breaching it or just going for a distraction play. Nick is best, trying to get a couple shots off. Kev Kevlar, not quite sure what they're doing on the back half, but it does not matter as Quad Headshots is able to secure that kill for the last part of the round and get the dub. They are now a 3v2 situation, and they are now going into the final round before the switch over. It's like, you know, 3v2, they still have another 6, 7 rounds. I don't know, it's anyone's game. And it looks like they are buying out on quad headshots. They have the money. They're gonna buy out because they can go money for days. They have flashes for days, right? And at this point on Knights of Jerky, they are pretty. I would say on the back half, you know, some Kevlar really leaning into the pistols. From what I'm seeing, maybe they're the eco player. Maybe. And Quad Headshots is setting up right now on lobby balcony. It looks like they're going more for a numbers-ish sort of play, at least at the beginning. Maybe they're going for, you know, numbers in the game to get that first kill, and then kind of playing off of that afterwards, right? Right now, just scaling the wall, really playing time, looking around, trying to get that intel with a drone, I believe, inside. Looks like Quad Headshots is making their way in, looking around. Not quite running into anyone yet on Knights of Jerky, but it looks like Knights of Jerky, again, is playing pretty interesting. Rumble plays on both sides of the map. Now with the smoke out, let's see. Quad Headshots is coming in, going in for the smoke play, trying to get that plant off. Looks like Numbskull is able to get that shot through the smoke and does finish that off. They unfortunately did not get the EMP plant off there. They are getting their shots off, going back and forth, and does a couple trades back and forth. Oh man, it is going crazy right now on B side. Looks like they did run back on the side. Golden able to get Jake actually able to get that shot off. Wow, impressive. At this point, now down to a 3v2 situation. And Mini on the back half cannot finish that flanking roll off. At this point, it's down to a TV2 to see if they can get this 1v3 situation. And looks like Quad Headshots is opening up all the breaching, just to really maximize, you know, the angles that they can see people enter from. And you know that's smart. I feel like it's risky sometimes to open up so many different walls, because it allows people to, you know, flank more often. But if you have the numbers advantage, it allows you to see more angles from one area, right? At this point, not looking good for TV2. Looks like they might be still going in. They're not going to be saving this round. They're going to be going in. They have, you know, a 1v3 situation. TV2's got a, you know, 4-5 KDR, not the worst. Definitely manageable. Slowly walking in. Hasn't really quite ran into anyone, but time is ticking down. That does give QuadHeadShots the win for that round. And unfortunately, TV2 is not able to survive either and does get shot out. And at this point, it's now down to a 4v2 situation. Did I have that right? 4v2? Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, QuadHeadShots now doing a good job. They have, you know, the momentum. Granted, this is the side reset, right? They're up good, right? They have 4-2. Technically, this map is considered easier for defenders, so they're on the advantaged side, or the side with better, you know, chances of winning. So we'll see if they do play into that more. They already have 4-2. All they need is 3 more wins, and that's it. That's the win, and that's the series win on top of that, right? And pistol round could really go, I don't know. People say it sets momentum. People say it doesn't matter. I think it definitely sets momentum, right? It tells you how well someone's going to be doing, how well their strategy is on this side. What do they normally do, right? Because even if someone's in this round and you see them already playing some crazy roaming plays, you know that team tends to play roaming more often, right? Playing really aggressive from the roof, but not quite pushing in yet. It looks like they want to make sure everything's safe before they make any kind of consolidated pushes in. Maybe even go for distractions, right? That's a Jerky. Interesting to watch them just play from the rooftop. We'll see if they make any pushes onto the actual map at this point, because they're still outside the map. It's been almost a full minute, and no one's entered the site yet, or not even site, just the building. Looks like they are finally moving in. We have Mini G coming in. We'll see if they can get a couple shots off on the back half or not. Knights of Jerky taking their time, coming up. Really looking around, checking those corners. Right now, Mini G playing very careful. And it looks like QuadHeadShots isn't really playing a roamer, right? They have almost all 5 players on site playing hard anchors. But you never know that, right? You never know the team you're playing against is playing maybe roamer style or more anchored on site. They can be playing a lot of different things, right? So you gotta play safe for everything, because you don't know. Knights of Jerky able to secure lockers, getting ready to set up for the breach on the site. At this point, things are gonna look like, you know, they're gonna start happening, right? Down to a stalemate. It's about 1 minute. Things are starting to count down. They have to make something happen here. And it looks like Minichi gets 2 shots off right there off the bat. And Golden still not quite doing anything from the top. Does get picked out. Golden actually just gets picked up by a teammate. Jake coming in, swinging in wide, trying to see if they can pick off more people. It's now down to a 3v1 situation. Tempo moving in slowly. Is down to, oh no, Jake is killing it right now. It's now a 1v1 situation with Jake at 40% health. Can they do anything about this? TV2 trying their best, but they are not looking like it's going to work out well. They do go in for the reset on the side. TV2 not quite sure how to handle this. Jake coming in crazy. Let's see if they can get the finish off. They do, and Jake clutches it out for that round. I wasn't sure if that was what was that, a 2v1, 3v1 situation? Oh my goodness. Jake clutching it up for QuadHeadShots. A very unexpected turn of events at the end, because things swung hard in Knights of Jerky's favor, but man, did they not capitalize on it. So they're already off to a good start, right? QuadHeadShots has a really strong first performing round. We'll see if they can keep going forward and keep the momentum going until they hit around 7. Or Maybe Knights of Jerky really finds a rhythm going into the attacking half of this round. Not round, but map. I guess round. Yeah, round in terms of verbal. I don't know. Whatever. No crazy setup, just kind of bouncing around, having a good time here. Looks like they are going to be, they are setting up right now. Kind of pretty spread out. Again, playing very, these teams have been playing very spread, I would say, on the attacking part, right? You have people all across the whole map. Like, you have one over there, one on the other side, and three on this side, so a 3-1-1, you know, formation almost. Callouts are being made by QuadHeadShots. I think they're quite not sure where everyone's coming from, as noise is being made all around them. Knights of Jerky are going into the breach spot, which I honestly think this is one of the most risky breach spots to come in through. But you know, if you can do it, more power to you. Looks like they are going to be playing off the drone. We'll see if they can get some intel off of it and make something happen. Numbskull making callouts, looking all around, and G Money not quite reacting to it. So Tempo does get trapped out by the incendiary, but does not die. And man, that was close. I honestly, I would not have known. Mini G does get the kill in the back half. And you can see that this flanking play is working out for them, right? They have their first kill already in that round. It's now down to a 5v4 situation for Knights of Jerky. We'll see if they can come back. Tempo does get a couple shots off and is able to finish that up. It is now down to a 5v3 situation. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good for QuadHeadShots. But you know, I've said that so many times, and they've clutched up last minute. I don't know how they do it, but they, oh my goodness, do they do it? Jake Destroyer running around, trying to see if he can get a couple shots off. Doesn't quite get the kill there, but almost wins. CB2 able to finish that off and get the kill. It is now down to a 5v2 situation. Tempo swinging wide, does get the shot off. Actually, Mini does finish that up. Tempo gets shot down and takes down Mini in the back. Or Tempo in the back. Nick is killed. Again, we're seeing these crazy clutch plays from the QuadHeadshots players. I don't know how it goes from a 4v1 situation or 3v1 situation to down to a 1v1. And the player has 4 health. You know, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how QuadHeadShot does it, but dang it, do they do it. Nick is best doing their best at this point just to hold it down. 1v1, 30 seconds counting down. They have the time on their side. Looking around, trying to see if anyone is there. They probably do hear someone, but not quite sure where they're at. And now both of them hunting each other. We'll see if it does work out for them. And he does get the kill and does get them the round win for QuadHeadshots. And I gotta get the replay there. I mean, it's not the best replay ever, but you know, Nick is best, doing a crazy job at holding it down for the teammates there, because that was not expected. We had a situation where it came down to about 4 to 2 people or 3 to 1 people. Sorry. And things just didn't work out. You know, Knights of Jerky, things are not quite working out for them anymore. You know, the economy's starting to swing hard for QuadHeadshots. We'll see if Knights of Jerky can interrupt this, but otherwise, it is now down to a match point, and it's not looking like the best for them. Unfortunately, they were playing their hearts out, but I don't know. Maybe their momentum's dying too much. Maybe the morale is starting to break. It is map 3, and man, has QuadHeadShot been putting up a fair game. Again, playing these very wide plays once more. They have a 3-1-1 situation from Knights of Jerky. I'm not sure if they just run that in their scrims and it just works out for them all the time or something, but it's definitely funky to be watching how people play. At this point, they got the drone bouncing and weaving up and down, trying to get the intel, trying their best not to get shot out. But as they can see, nobody nobody's around blue hallway or blue stairs or anything, even storage. At this point, it feels clear for them, but they are getting wallbanged pretty hard right now. As TV2 almost gets shot several times from their teammate. Jake the Destroyer able to get that beautiful frag, and it does wipe out TV2 from the corner. And oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I can't believe that was a crazy frag. I don't know if y'all saw that, because I don't know how they did that. The push does start now. They do have Mini G on the back half, trying to get the wall bangs in, trying to distract people. But I think everyone on the A side knows what's up. They know they are going to be making their push in. Tempo slowly peeking out. Does get shot down by Zenti. And gets another, sorry, that was beautiful. This point's down to a 4v2 situation, and I don't know. Nice Jerky. I haven't seen him make any crazy clutch plays. It's really been QuadHeadShot's consistently doing the clutch plays. Unfortunately, Zenti is able to get the shot, but does kill themselves with their own team damage there, and is now down to a 3v1 situation. And I don't know. It's not looking the best. It's not looking the best. Nick the Best is able to get that up and clutch up the play, and that does work out in favor for QuadHeadShots. And on top of that, it does give them the round win. Yeah, you know, QuadHeadShot's having the craziest clutch plays in this game. Not expected so many times where I would have put all my money on Knights of Jerky, right? It looked like they had it in the bag, that things were going to work out in their favor, but it just doesn't, right? Even with having a numbers advantage, I'm not sure if they're just not utilizing those numbers, or if QuadHeadShot's team is just that cracked where they're just clutching up so many times with these crazy numbers disadvantages. But, you know, credit to QuadHeadShots. Credit to Knights of Jerky for coming back in map 2, taking this to round 3. But QuadHeadShots, obviously, as we've seen them, they've consistently been playing well, having amazing attacking plays and even defensive plays, and holding it down to the very end and clutching up even when they are down so many players. And I think that goes to show here, because they did get the series win with a 7-2 on Factory. Things really swung in their favor, and you know, impressive gameplay today. But anyways, that will be it for me. I gotta go head off to a game myself. But thank y'all for joining us, and hopefully y'all have a good time, and we will be on our way out.
Pre-season of VRML Breachers is brought to you by Triangle Factory, HyperX, Asterion Products, VR Cover, Arma.gg,